Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. So let's go ahead and jump right back in, y'all. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean they're sexually into you. And just because someone's sexually into you doesn't mean they're interested in you romantically. You're talking as if he owes you something, even though so far it seems you've been getting plenty enough care with nothing asked of you in turn. But he promised. And do you honestly believe he never intended to keep that promise? She asked challengingly. Blah. Sorry, I'm still waking up. She asked challengingly, raising one brow and forcing me to hang my head. Are you willing to sit here, look straight at my face, and say it was all a lie? I closed my eyes, a frown taking over my expression. Maybe not. Maybe he did mean it once, but then he led me on. That's what you say, and truth be told, I've seen this over and over again. People ignoring the other person, who they are and what they want, what's important to them, just because in their little head they're the main character. Their life is a well-scripted play. The world a stage. Everyone and everything must bend to them, and they are the only thing that matters, and everything that ever happens to them alone. Her harsh words cause me to wince, and a realization floods my mind. To this day, he thinks he's the one who lost everything, but I was no better off. I was happy with him, and we could have been happy together. I'm ignoring his pain, his suffering, as if it didn't even exist. I've been doing that a lot as of late, and that realization makes my heart drop to my stomach. I'm no better than Tano. I've been focusing only on myself. Of course you did. We all do. But there are times when we need to understand that other people have their own feelings and priorities. You ignoring them for the sake of your wants is proof enough that you're not mature enough for a relationship. You see someone attractive and think you'd want to be with them, and hey, they might even give you a time of their day. But the moment their priorities, the ones they always had and you yourself decided to ignore, crop up and take first place as they ought to, suddenly you're being led on. That's not how the world works, honey. That's not how people work. There it goes. A pit growing inside my stomach suddenly turns into a void ready to swallow me whole. I'm being chastised by a prostitute, but worse yet, she has a point. I'm not ready for a relationship, and neither is he. I'm lost, emotionally unstable, and very focused on any speck of happiness I can get in this miserable situation I've found myself in. I've been putting my own needs above those of others, but why the lies? Why pretending everything's fine when it actually isn't? Sparing the person you care for some pain isn't a slight. It's an act of kindness, even if misguided. Brutal honesty is just that. Brutal. And acted without care for your feelings or strength to bear it. Friends who hide behind brutal honesties don't look for a way to build you up, but rather for means to knock you down. I guess. I sigh heavily, somewhat conceding to her point. One second, y'all. Okay. But it's not entirely that. He just doesn't treat me like an equal, constantly omitting stuff as if I were a child. And have you asked yourself what have you done to warrant such treatment? She looks to me with a slightly taunting smile. Respect is earned, boy, not given. If you truly believe he's malicious, I have no idea why we're even having this conversation. But it seems you give him credit, which only means he's shielding you from the hard truth because he doesn't believe you can handle them. If that's the case, then that's on you to prove him wrong. And trust me, he'll be glad for it. Why should I have to prove myself to someone who doesn't trust or respect me? I think that's going a bit too far. He doesn't trust you and respects you. Just not in everything I'd imagined. Her expression grows colder as she raises one brow and I nod reluctantly. With a mindset like that, you'll end up hurting alone, with no one else to blame but yourself. That sort of domineering behavior will inevitably push everyone away. I know I wouldn't be able to deal with that. That's why I ran off. It's better to be a whore than someone's afterthought. A distant knocking draws our attention towards the corridor. And that would be me, she says, correcting her dress and grabbing the empty chalices and bottle. Honestly, kid, if only everyone had a friend like yours to cry about, the world would be a happier place. You think I'm selfish? A little bit bratty, but given what happened to you, that's quite understandable and easy to forgive. If only you'd extend that courtesy to those around. A stranger saved your life, sheltered, clothed, and fed you at great personal risk, showing time and again nothing but kindness. I trust that person with my own life, as they've proven beyond any doubt to be good for it. Anything else is just you whining. But, see, your lips are moving and you're about to complain again. She winks, approaching the door, and I decide to help her open it, as her paws are full. Just as I'm about to turn the handle, I stop and look at her with one last thing I have to say. Thank you for listening and the good advice. Anything to stop that ear-splitting sobbing. The female smirks teasingly. But in all seriousness, I'm happy I was able to help. What about you? Don't you need help? I ask, wondering if perhaps I could somehow repay her kindness. You willing to take care of this one for me? She nods teasingly towards the door. He's a big, well-endowed leopard. A bit sloppy in bed, but a generous lover. Hmm? I laugh uncomfortably as she flashes her brow. Thought so. Your lightheartedness is inspiring and surprising. Oh, goodness. Bless me. Are you really happy? You mean happy being a whore? Yes, it's my choice. I have a roof over my head, food on my plate, and drink in my glass. I meet people, some quite interesting, might I add. She smiles widely, and I cannot help but blush at the veiled compliment. And I'm free. Free from my abusive family, free from forced marriage, free to travel and go wherever the wind blows. The fake morality this world tries to impose on us is just another form of prison, one meant for your body and mind. There you go. I don't intend to be a prisoner ever again for as long as I live. Well said. I chuckle. I didn't expect this conversation to be this enlightening. You mean because I'm a whore? She mocks me, teasingly rolling her eyes and swirling the edge of her glass. That's when we both shudder slightly at the ladder banging on the far-off door. I better go. He's getting impatient. Impatient customers tend to be less generous, both in coin and in bed. And with that, I open the door and she steps outside, leaving me alone with what I'm mindful to process. Oh, there you are, handsome. I'm sorry, I was just freshening up. Her voice echoes down the hallway. I can finally have an erection the size of my arm, woman. My, someone's quite eager. I won 3 silver against a die sharp and then caved in his muzzle. I need to fuck now. I hear her chuckling as they disappear from the corridor into the confines of her room. As open-minded as I try to be, I don't think I could stay here and listen to her orgasmic moans and groans while another horny male destroys her all over the room. Nope. Just as I hear the bed jump with a loud thud, I decide to leave for the main hall and await Ranok's return there. As I descend the rickety stairs towards the main hall, I'm greeted with only a few patrons scattered around the hall. It's quite empty for obvious reasons, as only Self seems to be running the bar. I approach the counter trying to locate Ranok in hopes he's simmering here somewhere over some ale, but he seems to have left. Did you see my companion? Oh, did you see my companion? I asked the bunny with slight worry, and she puts down a cloth with which she was cleaning some tankards. The broody wolf? He orders moonshine and left to catch some air. Is that safe? Safe? She blinks as if she didn't understand the question. Is there anywhere that hulking beast wouldn't feel safe? I cannot help but chuckle at the remark, but still looked at her with some concern. I guess, but you know what I mean. Not really, no. She smirks teasingly. You have nothing to worry about, sugar. He'll be fine. We've got night watch all over town. If anything, they'll be questioning what he's doing out this late. Speaking of, what time would you say it is? It's the hour of the wolf, funny enough. How long past midnight is that? 3 hours, give or take. She shrugs, so it's 3 in the morning. Maybe I should go after him. Bad idea. The girl shakes her head slowly, causing her ears to flop. I half expect the guards to bring him back here for snooping around. And better you stay here if they do. Foreigners skulking around the streets at night aren't exactly a good look. True. I mutter slightly, unnerved. I didn't even think about this. Oh God, what if he gets thrown in jail, or worse, what if he decided simply to leave me here? Did he take the gold? I didn't pay attention. He abandoned you. No. That's not who Ranok is. He might be dumb and insensitive at times, but he would not leave me here just like that. Besides, he asked me to collect myself, and that's what I should do. Everything okay, sugar? Shit, if the bunny's picking up on my nerves, I must be really fucked. Yeah, just a bit anxious. Couldn't sleep well. Oh, you're a nervous traveler. I'm not a nervous traveler. It's quite common for a nervous traveler to deny he's a nervous traveler. Luckily, it's something I can help you with. Lavender is... No lavender! I blurt out in panic, causing the bunny to shudder. The last thing I need is another dream sequence. Sorry, I can't stand lavender. It makes me sick. I clumsily make up an excuse, embarrassed that I startled her, but she quickly dismissed it with a kind smile. Aw, why didn't you say so? I know just the thing. Tisane with a hint of gin. She clasps her tiny paws and rushes off through the side door. She returns momentarily with a bubbling pot and cup. I look inside it, and there's some dried leaves she quickly soaks in boiling water. The floral scent hits my nose immediately. Chamomile and valerian root. We brew it a lot. While it cools, simply breathe it in. She gesticulates towards her nose, and I do just that. In the meantime, she takes 2 small glasses and fills them up with a clear liquid. Once poured, she pushes one towards me, and I look into her in confusion. What now? Now we drink the gin! She smiles toothily, clinking her glasses with mine. Amused, I shake my head and down the shot. The gin is less smooth than the Everclear, but leaves a pleasant herbal aftertaste, almost as if one swallowed mouthwash. One more for good measure. The bunny fills the glasses once again and raises hers in a quick toast. Yes, mas. To us! I nod in cheerful agreement, and down the gin goes. I grimace slightly as the initial novelty wore off, and indeed this feels like chugging Listerine. Heh, takes some getting used to, but here. She now finally nudges the steaming pot. Should be good enough to sip now. Thanks. I nod once more and allow her to return to her duties. She continues to clean up the silver and deposit it to the drawers while I try to drink the floral brew while it's still hot. It doesn't taste much of anything. There is some distinct leafy, naturesque flavor to it, but otherwise it's just hot water. But despite all that, I do feel much calmer and relaxed now. I don't know how much time passes, but eventually I move to one of the tables, watching the room finally clear out. The last of least customers is being dragged off by his screaming wife, calling him a no-good layabout, hitting him repeatedly with a folded apron, while the last man standing, a rather small in stature tigery youth, had to be chased out by Sylph. I look out the window, and although the sky is still dark, there is an undeniable subtle glow of twilight somewhere in the distance. I try not to worry, but it's hard not to with the passing of time. There you are! I rise, seeing the wolf finally enter through the back door. What are you doing down here? Ranok blinks in surprise, stopping a few paces short of my table. I was waiting for you. I thought you might have gotten arrested. No such luck. The city is calmer than a name tree grove. I just needed some air. You feel any better? I should be asking you that. He scoffs in mild amusement, and I nod. Heh, true. I feel better now. Had some help. I jiggle the now empty cup in the wolf's eyes. Good. I know this is all hard. I don't want it to be harder than it needs to be. Agreed. I can't promise to take you back. My personal wants and feelings are not important. Your safety and that of my friends takes priority. He says in an uncertain voice, taking a few reluctant steps towards me, and I pat the table. I understand. Even if I hate this decision with every part of my being, that makes the 2 of us. The wolf scoffs, taking a seat opposite me. Can you truly promise you'll come back? No. He exhales heavily. Between today and next year, there's so much that could happen. I could be dead or injured or imprisoned. I frown at the suggestions, but allow him to continue. I thought my life was grounded, structured, and focused, but everything fell apart the moment I met you. I'm not saying you're the cause of it all, but it's like I was living in a bubble when your arrival burst it, opening my eyes to mayhem and peril lurking at every corner. Not just for you, but for any of us. For the first time in my life, I don't know what to do or what's going to happen. All I can do is mitigate the damage that's already done. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell. Thank you to all of our lovely, wonderful patrons. We appreciate y'all and everything you do for the channel. And I hope y'all have a very wonderful, happy new year. Hopefully it'll be a great one for the channel and for every single one of you. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!